Hi, welcome back. I know. I said I was done for 2025, but I also said if I didn't get inspired. So I got inspired. I was watching the kids on the tube, and one of the kids inspired me to record this. This is my last video of the year. This will literally be published on the last day of the year. So this is it. After this, I will take a break. But anyway, today, what I wanted to share, because I realized, again, if you follow the videos, you know the story. I started this year trying to explore things, play around on YouTube. I was unemployed, had a lot of time, and poked around and realized I like talking to camera and have been sharing snippets about myself and life stories. But at the early start of this, I also mentioned that I have a few hobbies. You know, one of them was travel. I've shared a bit about travel. Other ones are I like art. You see behind me. I like art. I I'm not like I didn't study art, so don't ask me composition details. I just know what I'm drawn to and I like and I naturally acquire or gravitate towards. But also one is words. I told you I like lyrical abilities. I like words. So by proxy, I like books. I love books. But I didn't say anything about books this whole year. And if you know me, most times if I'm not sitting watching YouTube, I'm probably sitting somewhere with a cup of tea and a book. So I wanted the last video to be the books that helped me survive my kick my ass year. That's what this video is. If you were interested, if you're not into books, it's cool. You can go. It's fine. But this is books and not just novels, to be clear. When I say books, I'm being literal. Like I have journals here. I have, self-help. I have pictorial books, just things that, like I said, my thing for the whole year was seeking joy and inspiration wherever I could. And books were a major component of that. And, I told you, I said, I play YouTube. I've seen BookTube. I've seen the kids, do the reviews and the details. I am not, this is amateur. I am not going to be at the level those kids are with all the details and the analysis. I'm just going to tell you what I like about the book. I'm going to tell you about the book. You go find the book, get your own opinion about the book. But this is just to say, and by the way, I'm getting over a head cold, so you hear me sniffle a bit. This is just to share the books that made me smile this year, that I think if you're looking for something, it will be helpful. The first one is, it's not a book. It's actually, these would be considered note cards, but I think it's important because again, this has been a year that I've been reminded that you need a village. I don't care who you think you are. You need a village. You need people. And oftentimes we forget to thank those people. And I'm guilty of that. Even sharing these note cards, I didn't really use them as I intended per se. So this is a note card by, I believe the brand's name, I might butcher it, is Marimekko. Everyone knows this brand. They're very well known. I think is this Asian paste? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But what I loved, like I said, you guys said, see the print, the color. I love color. And they specifically have these cards that are blank cards. And each one is a different print. And you can just, it's blank. Again, you could fill it out, whether it be birthday, whether it be Christmas, whether it be holidays, whatever. I like that this isn't committed to a specific occasion. And you can customize, you can draw, you can paint, you can do whatever. And you can mail it to people. And each one is individual. And I think this is great. This is great. Like I was very happy when I found this and I got it. Now, the question is, how many of you mailed out? Mind your business. It's the intent that counts, and I'm sharing. So, if you were looking for something, there's a nice little Marimekko card that you could go find and buy. So onto books. I have said in these videos that 2025 was incredibly difficult for me. It was hard. It was quite the year, but it was also a growth year. Apparently, it was a year that I needed to evolve and grow. And during one of the lower points of this year, it was hard to just give a F about the basic things and do things. And so I was seeking things to it got to the point just like motivate me to do the dishes, dude. Like that's where we're at, and I stumbled upon, browsing one of my local bookstores, I stumbled upon this book. It's called The Little Frog's Guide to Self-Care. If you can see, and I'll try to do what the YouTubers do where you bring it close to the screen. On it is a frog with a mushroom hat and high heel boots. That alone got my attention because if you haven't caught on, I'm a dramatic person. I like visuals. I like unusual things. I like juxtaposing things. So like something that seems like a kid book with the frog, but then the frog got heels on. But it got my attention. And when I started flipping, it's the most like, it's almost like the most simple things you probably know, you should tell yourself when you're going through tough times, but done illustrated in such a fun and whimsical way that it caught my attention, and it just encourages you to be nice to yourself, right? Like this literally says, I'm going to be nicer to myself. And something about those low days, just flipping these, the visuals, I mean, look at this, look at these girls with their boots, fabulous, you know, like flipping these and getting the inspirational word, but also just getting the humor with the illustration pepped me up on days where things were not so peppy. So if you're looking for something, it's a quick guide. This is also something that honestly I would probably leave in like my powder room or somewhere where guests can see, because it's a quick and easy read, and it's funny and it makes you smile. And it also it's just reminders of things that, again, you should already be doing, but sometimes we need reminders. So this was fun. The Little Frog's Guide to Self-Care by, I think the author's name is Mabel Ikwe. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry, but that's how I read this. I'm trying to go through these quickly because I got a head cold. I got to go nurse this. Plus, you know, I have a village who's now supervising me, and they're probably like, why the F is she doing videos? This is the last one, and then I'm going to go rest. And I told you, if I find something I like, I'm going to enjoy it. You can see I'm enjoying this. Anyway, the next book is my journal for 2025. I am a journaler. If you haven't gathered, like I said, I have a love for words. I'm not the most disciplined person. I should journal every day. I don't. And I should, when I should journal, I don't, but I'm working on that because I am, you know, I've always said I wanted to write something, but it's really just discipline that has kept me from writing. Long story short, every year I get a journal. And this year, this particular journal I purchased when I was in Madrid. I've gone on about that trip in Spain and how it was just, I enjoyed it. I was inspired. But specifically why I'm calling out this journal is the first time I bought something that was very tactile for journaling, and has changed my mind. Like everything I buy now for journaling has to be tactile, because I've said on here, I'm a visual and tactile learner. So there was something about every time I had to pick up my journal to do it and I could touch this, it's like a fuzzy texture and like a squishy tomato. It's probably for kids. I am a certified agbaya. I have accepted it. So, you know, if you're like, oh, this is not posh or sophisticated, it's fine. That's my vibe. The kids stuff will probably get my attention before the grown-up stuff. That's just, I've accepted that about myself. So this is probably made for kids, but it was my journal for 2025. And it just made me think, going forward, I want journals that do more than just give me a page to write on. Like it has to stimulate more than that, either through touch or something else. So the journal 2025, moving on. Next book, this is actually a novel. So this is a novel called This Kind of Trouble. It's a novel by Tochi Eze, which shout out to Tochi. I mean, that name reads Nigerian. I'm assuming you're Nigerian, but that ain't the point. The point is it's a really well-written book. I would try to do a synopsis without giving away the book. It is centered around a family. Really, the main character is a matriarch of a family who struggles with a mental health condition. But the way the story is told, why I like it, because it's a Nigerian-based family, they weave in a lot of cultural details. The story of the mental health, and it's a generational kind of mental health condition, is woven in through superstitious stories, and it takes it all the way back to colonial times and brings it forward to modern day, and how that family is still dealing with certain consequences and how they're grappling with trying to address things. And also it's a story of a fractured family. It's just a complex and well-written story. And I like the dance in back and forth between time and cultural and just having you question, right? Because again, I'm Nigerian. Nigerians and mental health, we don't really do that conversation very well. It's a delicate topic with us. We're very superstitious people. I think this book did a great job of balancing all those different factors around such a sensitive topic. So if you were curious, and it's very interesting, if you were curious, I highly recommend This Kind of Trouble. Really well done. And I love the cover. The color's very good. Again, I ain't a booktuber. I'm sure people have deep synopsis about this book. I don't, go look it up. But that's just my 2 cents without giving away the story. I highly recommend that. Then the last 2 that I'm going to mention, these are, again, I'm a visual and tactile person. So I had mentioned that a big part of this year, me looking for inspiration, was realizing my home was a big part that I needed to update and upgrade and make conducive to what I wanted to come out of me. Part of doing that was also buying myself some books, specifically coffee table books. Well, they're called coffee table books, but I really put them almost anywhere, on the dining table, on the banquet, like anywhere, because I keep them open so I could see the visual pages. So this one is called Bohemian Residence. This book is expensive. I don't. I know it's been around for a while, and it's a really nice, like, architectural, like, design. Any page I open, seriously, any page I open will blow your mind. That's how beautiful this book is. But if you're someone like me who likes visuals, you like to walk by a piece and see things that stimulate you, this is a great book. I believe it's a compilation of different architectural work by global designers. And I'm saying architecture is more like interior design, I believe. Just unique. I mean, honestly, I could sit here flipping these pages. Unique pieces, very well done. Color is beautiful. I bought it used because I can't afford the full price. I believe it's been published for years now. I don't know what year it came out, but it's one of those, if you ever, again, if you're on the tube like I am and you listen to like the interior design people, this usually comes up. Again, it speaks to if your aesthetic is colorful, unique, you like global designs, you like the unusual, but you also like it done in a very refined way. This book does that, and you could pull inspiration from that. So this was one of those. I'm very excited. I got it. I got it used. I can't afford the new. Like, this is expensive, but this was a really nice addition. And the last one, which is what I'm most excited about, because I told you, I'm a fan of Rihanna. I'm a huge fan. I love Rihanna. Like, much respect, girl. Not that you will watch this, but if you ever watch this, girl, you did the thing. Anywho, Riri brought out her photography book years ago, and I remember seeing it, but for some reason I convinced myself, well, I will get it when I get my dream coffee table, which is kind of what happened. But in hindsight, that was silly, because the book could be put anywhere, similar to the Bohemian Residence book. You could put it on a dining table. You could put it on any open surface, right? Long story short, because I was doing my house this year, and this book is massive. I don't think enough people talk about how big Rihanna's book is. Rihanna's book, look, it's my entire chest. That's a book. Okay? But I will say, and it's not cheap, you know, it's not cheap, but at least this is like, there's heft to it. And what I love about this is not just the photography in here. I mean, it's interesting what page I just opened. I have to show you people, because this is my motto for 2026. In case you were wondering what my goal is for 2026, I got checks to collect. Anywho, this book is just exquisite. It was worth every dime. It has pictorial things in there. Again, for me, I need the pages open, so when I walk by that scene, I'm inspired. I draw from that. I believe it follows her entire music career when she was still touring and doing videos and stuff. All of that is captured in here through photography, but it's also a form of storytelling. And there are it's not just pictures of her, it's pictures of her team, people she collaborated with, events she went to. If you're looking for outfit inspiration, if you're just looking for inspiration, period, this book got me excited in 2025. This and Cardi's album, that's what lit the fire underneath me in the last quarter. All right, so those are the books I had to share, because I realized it's like I'm talking about everything else. I talk about books. Books are important to me. Every year, if you ask me, there's probably a book in my hand. So those are the books or the things or the thingamajigs or bookish things that got me through 2025. And if you got this far, have you subscribed? Please help me. There is a metric here called subscription that I need to monetize this account. And I ain't being subtle about it. I'm trying to make money next year. I was unemployed this year. If you were curious, there's a whole video series explaining what had happened to me this year. I'm trying to fix that in 2026. So please subscribe. Also, if you have subscribed and you're like, okay, what else can we do? You can share with your friends. You can you can comment. We can have a whole dialogue underneath these videos. Engage. That helps me fight, algorithm. That helps me with that battle that I have to fight. So thank you. Plus, like I said, this is coming out the last day of the year. My birthday is New Year's. So if you want to give me a birthday present, those are the things you could do. You can subscribe, you can share, you can like, you can comment, all the things. And I wish you a happy New Year and hope you get into 2026 safely. And I will see you there. Thank you. Bye.